Good morning, love streamers. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living's Sunday celebration service, love stream for Sunday, August 15th, 2021. My name is Travis, and I will be your host, pushing buttons in the background. We are so happy you're here with us. We have a great service planned today. Our beloved Reverend Elizabeth is with us, delivering an uplifting and inspired talk on the topic of sparking imagination. And she will be joining us shortly, as well as Charlie Carlin with the Science of Mind reading, practitioner in training Gina DiGirolamo will get us grounded in the moment with prayer. And our musical inspiration, raising the vibe today, is Robin Hackett. That's right. I would love to invite you at this time to share this love stream with your family and friends. If you're watching on the replay in the future, or if you're live with us, we're also streaming on YouTube. So Facebook and YouTube, a big hello to you watching on YouTube or watching the replay in the future. Be sure to leave comments if you're able. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. We love the comments. And in the meantime, let us light the way with inspired music by the amazing Robin Hackett singing her song, This Is the Moment.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. So happy to be with you. is your moment. This is your moment. This is your moment.
Woo! This is our moment. Thank you, Robin Hackett. It's so great to have you back with us today.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Oh my goodness. How perfect is that song to begin our day? This is your moment to put time to put everything on the line. Hello, beloveds. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley-Hogue, and it is my great honor to welcome you to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. We have an affirmation that we are going to place on the screen here, and I invite you to please repeat after me. I am guided by the same intelligence
I am guided by the same intelligence
and inspired by the same imagination,
and inspired by the same imagination,
which scatters the moonbeams across the waves
which scatters the moonbeams across the waves
and holds the forces of nature in its grasp.
and holds the forces of nature in its grasp.
And so it is.
And so it is.
All right. And now Travis is going to introduce our musician for the day. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you very much. All right. So I'm going to bring Robin Hackett into the stream, and I'm going to read a little bit from her bio. Okay. So if this is your first time experiencing Robin, you are in for a treat. That last song right there just gave me shivers. Your voice is like butter. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like being in the same room with you. All right.
Thank you.
Enough gushing on my part. Let me read. So Robin Hackett is a naturally gifted singer, songwriter, and author who brilliantly conveys inspiring, heartfelt messages through her music and words. Hearing Robin Hackett with her soul-stirring vocals allows you to instantly transform your day into something special. Her musical style and brilliant talent are unmatched by any of today's artists. She can effortlessly move between musical genres, but her storytelling and song interpretation are naturally beautiful and undoubtedly her true gifts. We love you, Robin Hackett. So you, audience members, can find out more about Robin and purchase her music at her website at robinhackettmusic.com. And I'll put that up in the little banner right here. Bum, bum, bum. And basically anywhere music is sold, iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, we have her on Spotify playlist. It's awesome. So here's a couple of fun facts that you might not know about Robin. So Robin spent most of her childhood in Germany, 8 years to be exact, and she went to German school before English school. Whoa. Robin also lived in New York for 20 years. So those of you that have known Robin forever probably already knew that one. But did you know that Robin's favorite color is pink? Huh? And her favorite food is popcorn with butter and salt. So if you're in a movie situation with Robin, bring the popcorn and butter and salt, please. All right. Without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the incredible Robin Hackett.
You guys are the best. Travis, that was wonderful. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Elizabeth. I'm so thrilled to be with you guys once again. And I'd like to share a song with you that I actually found the title of this in a bookstore in New York City when I was a younger woman. And it's called Certain People. Are you a certain person? Well, he walks like he knows every secret, and he talks like his life's on the line, and he never gives into the contrary motion that leaves some of us spinning behind. And she stands with her boots pointed forward, and she finishes all that she starts. And she won't be content till she's one of those people whose arms reach on up for the stars.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Robin Hackett. All right. Beautiful. All right. Now I am back as your announcements angel. That's right. I've got my announcements angel hat on, and I will say, good morning, CSL. That's right. We are continuing with our shortened announcements today. And these are the announcements for Sunday, August 15th, 2021. All right. Coffee and conversation after service around 11 a.m.-ish Pacific Standard Time via Zoom. The link will be in the comment section here. I will make sure of it. And on Wednesday, we have our spiritual community connection calls, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The links for those are on our Facebook page and in our e-news. So if you have not subscribed to the e-news, you'll want to go to our website and sign up. All right. Now, next Sunday, we have the amazing Reverend Wayne Edmonston as our guest speaker. And our musical inspiration for the day will be Mark Stanton Welch. All right. Definitely not going to want to miss that. And we are live streaming online only for the rest of August. So be sure, don't come to the center in Templeton, this little Templeton. And so just join us online, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Speaking of, we have some big changes coming up for the center, and we will have a town hall meeting via Zoom on Wednesday, this Wednesday, August 18th at 6:30 p.m. The link will be on our Facebook page and in our e-news bulletin. We'll send that out on Wednesday, and that will have the link. You'll definitely want to be sure to join us for that. And that, my beloveds, has been the announcements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Travis. What a great announcements angel you are. Woo! All right, friends, I would like to remind you in this moment that if there is something that is heavy on your heart for which you would like prayer for, or maybe you're looking to manifest something in your life, we invite you to please send your prayer request to info@cccsl.org, and our prayer team will pray over your prayers for the next week. And now it is my great honor to turn it over to our beloved Charlie Carlin for today's Science of Mind reading. Take it away, Charlie.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's talk about the joy of the soul. Today, let's sing Life's Song of Joy. We are all a part of the universal mind, one with the universal substance. You live, move, and have your being in pure spirit. All the wealth, the power, and the goodness of this spirit exists at the center of your being. You experience this good in such degree as you accept, believe in, and feel it. As you enter into life feeling the divine presence in everything. More and more, you will hear a song of joy singing at the center of your being. You have only to be still and listen to this song of life, for it is always there. Say, I know that the loving presence is always closer than my very breath. I have nothing to fear. I feel this loving protection around me. I know that the song of joy, the song of life, and the song of peace is forever chanting its song of praise. Therefore, I tune out of my mind all unhappy and negative ideas. I tune my dial to KGOD. I focus my thoughts onto the sunshine of life, into brightness and laughter, into the joyous presence of the radiant spirit. I lay aside all anxiety, all striving, and let the law of divine love operate through me into my affairs. Joyfully, I anticipate greater abundance, more success, a deeper peace, and constant joy. Gratitude flows from my heart for all the blessings I continue to receive. Ernest Holmes stated in Journey into Life, We should live each day as though it were complete and perfect within itself. We should live each day as though all the joy in the universe was ours now. And so it is.
Wow. And so it is. Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. That's almost a prayer in itself. It is a prayer in itself. And so, but let's tune within. Let's all turn within and just take a breath together. And exhaling and just releasing anything that has come before this moment. Yes. And fully feeling that spot in your body, in your mind, where you know the truth, and that we all know together that there is only one God, one divinity, one spirit, one energy, whatever word that is your personal word for the thing itself. This divine energy is what has created all of life and continues to create. It's created everything and everyone that's ever come before our time. It's created us and everything we see around us and feel right now. And it will continue when we leave these bodies. We will continue when we leave these bodies because we are one with this source. We can never be separate from it. And we each have our own individual expressions of this thing called life. And just like Charlie said, we have all the joy and the fun and the good and the abundance available to us at all times, right here and right now, in this day and in this moment. And I know this is true for me. And if it's true for me, it's true for all of us because we are all united. And so I know that this service, this wonderful expression of God that is showing up in Reverend Elizabeth and the words that she is delivering to us today has been divinely guided through her to each and every one of us. And it is in the music that Robin has created and written through the years. And knowing that her lyrics and her songs and her sounds are timeless because they are the gift of God working through her as her. And we are so blessed to be able to receive it in this day. And I know that it strikes each one of us in a unique and profound way. It is the blessing that Travis is in his joy, in his creativity, in his technical prowess, creating the service today for us and producing it. And I know it is in me as I speak these words and as I have been healing. And speaking of healing, I know we are all healing together, whether it be from something physical or emotional or spiritual or familial, relationship-wise, whatever it is, grief, all of it, because spirit heals and keeps us going and is the vitality of life. And so I claim that for all of us right now. And so I'm so grateful to be able to be in this space. I'm so grateful for this teaching that's come into my life and for all our lives, for us to recognize the truth that we are all united. I'm so grateful for the service as it unfolds. I'm so grateful for the community of Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, of the community of those who are of new thought thinking, for us to be able to connect in this way and to understand the truth that we can never be separate. And so with that, I can just release these words, knowing that Spirit's taking care of all things at all times. And we could just release and let go, allow it to enter our life. And together we just say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Gina. What an awesome, powerful prayer. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to bring Robin Hackett back into the stream for your third song. And we just love you, Robin. Thank you so much for being here with us. Take it away.
All right. This song is one that I always need to remind myself, so hopefully it'll be useful to you too. world is coming to, with all the ups and downs that you've been through. But there's more than the eye can see. There's the truth in your divinity. So be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. When those clouds roll in, don't you worry now. Before you know it, you'll be up with the sun. And on this world goes round and round. But in the chaos, there's something to be found. So be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Don't you worry about the rain upon your shoulder. Don't you worry if the sun don't shine. Don't you worry if there's enough for tomorrow. For if you go inside, you will see you are a shining light. Whoa. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still.
Yes, be still and know. Oh, magnificent. Thank you so much. Oh, what a beautiful gift it is to have Robin with us again today, isn't it? Amazing. Hello, beloveds. Good morning. If you're just tuning in, I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley-Hogue, and I am the spiritual director and senior minister at the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome. And today is August 15th. And for the month of August, we've been looking at taking a pause for guidance and how appropriate to have Be Still and Know be the song that leads us into the talk for today. Be still and know. We are all about pausing through the month of August and just taking that time to rest and check in, rejuvenate. And so for today, we're looking at sparking imagination. So, during the month, we've talked about joy and welcoming innovation, authenticity, vulnerability, and the opportunity to evolve our thinking. So today is all about evoking curiosity. And with that curiosity, we have the capacity to actually intuit new ways of being and integrate new practices that energize and expand our divine presence in the world. And so it's a shift in consciousness that we make from moving into or moving out of circumstances, situations, conditions, and experiences in our lives that we feel aren't for our highest good and into those that actually are. So, what a beautiful opportunity this is. Now, people are actually duplicating the creative and self-giving nature of the living spirit, the principle of divine self-imagination. Universal mind localizes as and through each individual, which the individual knows, the individual being you and me, as ideas and intuitions and imaginations, right? So an idea drops in and we take that idea and we follow it, or we hear the idea and we push it back, and then the idea comes again and we may push it back, and then it comes again and we say, okay, let's explore this idea a little bit, and then we move forward from there. And as we connect with that divine idea, as we connect with spirit within us, we understand and we get into alignment with this presence that is the divine intelligence that is back of all. And it begins to propel us forward. And, last month we were talking about being pulled by vision. And so we get ideas and intuitions and visions this way, right? It's a divine spark. It's this imagination, if you will, that is coming through. And then we could be pulled by it as we align ourselves with spirit. And so why wouldn't we do that, And so we prove metaphysical principle for ourselves. We prove these principles that we're learning for ourselves in our own lives. Now, a newcomer to the science of mind and spirit is urged to make definite the infinite with the caveat of this or something better, because we often come to the table of the Most High with spirit with our idea of how it should be, and spirit more often than not has a bigger, more magnificent, amazing idea that we could have even possibly imagined, right? So we get an idea, we let it pull us, we let spirit pull us toward this idea and pull us into the vision of that idea, knowing this or something better. So our ideas are dropped into us through the great first cause. Now, it is the individual learning to consciously create through universal mind. However, the list of wants and needs and desires, as I said, present oftentimes a kind of limitation for one who now glimpses the vastness of the infinite creative. Right? So it is natural for our minds to then become open to greater possibilities because we know the infinite, we know spirit, we know how it moves in our lives, and we open up to bigger adventures and loftier pursuits harvested from imagination. Everyone is imbued with the power to duplicate the creative nature of the living spirit through imagination. Woo! Now we've got some big announcements to make, and I haven't been talking about it through the services on Sundays because we really want to reach out to our longtime community members and have a conversation with them first. And so that is going to be all complete and done by Wednesday when we're having our town hall meeting. So I encourage you to please come to that meeting to hear about what's up at the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living this Wednesday, August 18th at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. Not at the center, it's via Zoom. And we're going to have some time of sharing the vision and what is going on with us. It's so good. It's so good. And what's next for our center and all of us. And so it'll also be an opportunity for people to ask questions. I know there's going to be a lot of questions. And for those who I've already spoken with or our board has already spoken with, I know there's questions. And so we're ready to answer your questions, and it is good. And what we can do in this moment is to know and be clear and firm that we are aligned with spirit. I'm in alignment with spirit, and so is the board and our center, and it's just magnificent. And so we can be excited about this. And I'm so grateful for all of you in our community, and I'm so grateful for Gina and your prayer this morning. That was so powerful and such a great reminder for us all that it's the imagination actually that has us move into a place of healing, right? It's our imagination. It is that divine creative spark that comes in and says, well, what's it like to be healed? If we find ourselves uh, out of alignment, either physically, emotionally, or spiritually, and spirit comes in and has us start to imagine what it's like when we're feeling better, when we're feeling at the top of our game again. And we start to imagine a sense of wholeness and what that feels like. And it's powerful because what's happened is we've been kind of knocked out of alignment, maybe, and into a place of either we don't feel good or whatever's happening, and that imagination is what helps us move into and have a quickening. It quickens the process of our healing, which to heal is really to reveal more truth, more spirit, more God in the situation and in our lives. Yes? Yes. All right. So, was it just last week that we were at the center? Yeah, I think it was last week. And so it's like we're at the center and there's people and there's the peopling energy, and then now I'm back and it's the screen and I'm like, "Hey, are you out there? Can you hear me?" What? Can't hear you. I see you over here in the Facebook comments, and I appreciate the hearts and the love that come up. It helps me know that you're actually there. So thank you for that. And it's so great to see all of you and to know that you're there. And even though it might be in my imagination, I see your faces, right? I'm imagining that you're there and I'm seeing your faces as I see your names, and I imagine your energy and who you are. I saw some names this morning pop up, and I'm sure there are more here now, but Gina, Charlie, BJ, and Verly, yay! Karen Roberts here in the house. It's so great to see you, and Alexandra and Amanda West. We love you. I'm so grateful for you. And Kathy Hain, hey, what's up? Yeah, put some love in here. Thank you so much, beloveds. Shannon and her tribe is there. And wow, look at all these people are popping up now. Thank you, beloveds. We love you. And I'm so grateful for you. And I just love how imagination works. As I saw those comments, I bring it up into my consciousness and I have a picture of you and whatever my memory is of you, right? A beautiful smile or your vibrant, joy-filled energy. Oh, it's good. Imagination is magnificent. So, friends, the ability to imagine things pervades our entire existence. It influences everything we do, everything we think about, and everything we create. It leads to elaborate theories, dreams, and inventions in any profession, from the realms of academia to engineering and the arts. What just popped into my mind was Elon Musk and everything that he has been dreaming into existence, all of those beautiful, powerful ideas that have been dropped in. And he's just out there planting the seeds and getting things nurtured to bloom and blossom into something magnificent. Imagination is also a powerful brain booster because it makes you think in a way which is not standard for everyone. It is a way that helps us find solutions that might be considered unexpected by our brains or outside of the box, as it were. But our imaginations can create scenarios that solve problems in the most effective way. Now, the surest way to provoke imagination is to seek out environments that you have no experience with, because that has you start to think about things and you begin to fill in the blanks in your curiosity, in your wonder, and in your awe of everything around you. So, when we experience something, enough times for our brain to become adept at processing the information, then we have these connections between neurons that become more efficient, and then our brain doesn't have to work hard to produce results, and the imagination things neurons all link together. Are you with me? All right, so imagination makes it possible for us to experience a whole world inside the mind. It gives the ability to look at any situation from a different point of view and to mentally explore the past and the future. Now, as science of mind folks, we are certainly called to stay in the present moment and in the now. However, when these thoughts and experiences and memories come up from the past, what happens is those become very real in our imagination, in our minds, and so real that we can begin to actually act and behave as if we are in that situation now. And so, oh, it's always a perfect time to call up a practitioner, or give me a call, or one of the ministers here, and or one of your community members and friends, and get a spiritual mind treatment, which is our affirmative prayer, and allow yourself to get realigned with the spiritual truth of who you are. I was thinking about reading books. Now, reading books offers us a great opportunity to imagine, dream, and visualize, because the author is describing characters in such detail and setting up the scene for us, and we are left to create that in our mind's eye. What does that mean? What does that look like? And so we actually create this world in our own imaginations about the scene that has been described to us. And then have you noticed that if you go to see a movie that's actually made from the book, you're not really using your imagination, because everything is given to you. You're given the scene, and you're given the characters, and all the details of the story are presented in a particular way. And it doesn't leave a lot of room open for imagination. So, to practice your imagination, read. Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Read, 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 she says. Awesome. And so there's a photographer, you may have heard of him. His name is Malik, and he says that the unseen is what fuels the imagination. That is very powerful. The unseen is what fuels the imagination. And he had taken a series of photos, and there was one photo that was really capturing him. You know, a photographer takes a bunch of photos, and then they have to go back and find the best, right? They might take hundreds of photos, and then they pull out one, two, or three that are really speaking to them. And the one that he pulled out was there was a horse in this scene, and it was behind a door. Now, the one he pulled out was the horse behind the door, where you couldn't see the horse's eyes. And it spoke to him on such a deep level, and he didn't know why, but he finally realized that it was because you can't see the horse's eyes. And it really has you create something in your imagination. And how beautiful is that? And so that evokes something within us, right? When we are needing to paint a picture, we turn within, and it is within where the great mystery resides, the great mystery with a capital M, where it gets created. Yes? And so that is amazing. And Japanese aesthetics comprise a set of ancient ideals that include wabi, sabi, and yujin. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sure our resident artist, BJ, could speak a lot better to this, but this is what I know, that wabi is about transient and stark beauty, and sabi is said to be the beauty of natural aging, and yujin is a profound awareness of the universe, which invokes feelings that are inexplicably deep and too mysterious or too profound for words. So, a profound awareness of the universe that triggers a deep emotional response. So, simply stated, Eugen could be considered a profound sense of the universe. Now, you've seen this in artwork, and you've seen it, and there are some specific images that come to mind that create this for us. For instance, there is moonlight, or the flash of the moonbeams across the ocean, right? The reflection of the light, or snow on distant mountains, or birds flying really high in the evening sky, and you can see them and they're just up there and they're a little bit out of reach. It sparks something within us. Yes, I enjoy personally seeing bird formations, those bird formations of birds that fly together, and then you'll see them get into a V formation. Oh, that amazes me every single time. They get in a V formation, or if they just are swarming around all together in this amazing dance. It's so mysterious and it causes something to occur within me. And I oftentimes I'm driving, so I have to snap myself back to the road so I don't get distracted, or watching the sunrise over the ocean. Imagine, right? It does something to us. Yes. Oh, that is imagination. So everyone, excuse me, everyone has a fertile and vivid imagination. When your inner vision fills and flows with what you perceive to be new thoughts, ideas, feelings, inklings, and intuitions, you have sparked your imagination. All are imbued and surrounded by a presence that is continually imagining and reimagining itself as you. Your growth in consciousness, your acts of compassion, your exploration of greater love, and your adventures into the unknown. Ernest Holmes says, I am guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination which scatters the moonbeams across the waves and holds the forces of nature in its grasp. We are guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination, which does that. Wow. Now, Ernest Holmes was really open at the top. He used his intellectual brilliance to weave the great thinkers such as Plato, Walt Whitman, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Robert Browning into a divine tapestry to illuminate the thing itself in wondrous and mind expanding ways. And so we are inspired too by Ernest Holmes. And when he first tried to bring this teaching to others, you may not know this story, but he first was wanting to get this teaching out into the world. And so he got an office and he sat in his office for 6 months. And only one man came to see him during those 6 months. And he said that that man thought I was crazy. Holmes knew in that moment that if this metaphysical teaching had any reality, he would prove it to himself by being his own demonstration. So he decided to give up his office and he got a job. But within 2 years of being invited to start his first study group, he was speaking each week in front of 3,000 people in this massive auditorium. And so he became his own demonstration. How awesome is that? Now, your growth in consciousness will reflect in the external world. Your acts of compassion, which transform you internally, will reflect in the external world. Your exploration of greater love through forgiveness, unity, acceptance, prayer, meditation, spiritual education, sacred fellowship, selfless service, tithing, all of this will transform your worldview and it will cause a shift to occur within you. And when we have a shift that occurs within us, everything in the external world also shifts. And then sometimes what do? Well, we don't want that to change. Everything can change but that, right? Or no, 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 wait a minute. I'm not quite ready. I'm going to come back and relax into this space. No, doesn't work that way. You've had a shift and you've had a shift within you. Shift happens and you are transforming. So you will now be shown the finished kingdom through which you walk because of this inner transformation. all sparked by your imagination. How wonderful is that? Now, Ernest Holmes also says that all the power and intelligence of the universe is already within you, waiting to be utilized. The divine spark must be fanned into a blaze of the living fire of your own divinity. He is saying the same intelligence that caused the whole, all of creation to occur is within us, right? And we are called to fan the fire of our own divinity. And as we do, everything is revealed, right? This is seek ye first the kingdom of within, and all things shall be added unto them. That is, seek that first, align with spirit, align with the source within you, and everything is revealed. And you continue and continue getting in greater alignment, greater alignment, greater alignment, right? It's a practice. Good things are happening, and they continue to happen as we stay in that alignment, right? Now, I love, and you may have heard of this, but during my research for today's talk, I discovered something. And what I discovered was a purple dinosaur who wears a yellow sweater, and his name is Figment. Now, I know you all just created that in your imagination. Purple dinosaur wearing a yellow sweater, and his name is Figment. Yes, because he's a figment of your imagination. But he is actually like the mascot for this attraction at Disney's Epcot Center. And there is a song called One Little Spark that was written by the Sherman Brothers for Epcot Center's original Journey into Imagination for that original attraction. And so I'm going to read these words to you, just a few lines, because they are so powerful. One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Right at the start of everything that's new, one little spark lights up for you. Imagination, imagination. A dream can be a dream come true. With just that spark from me and you. Woo! How powerful is that? So, one little spark, my friends. We are sparking imagination here today. Woohoo! It's amazing. All right. So, I also want to talk about the quality and character of one's imagination and how that often corresponds to our mental and emotional state. Feeling adrift from the living spirit, if one's thinking is agitated, anxious, separate, disconnected, or if our thinking is dominated by thoughts of lack, limitation, scarcity, or density, this mental and emotional state might trigger an imagination that negates the spiritual truth of our being. And one might then begin to imagine the worst possibilities. On the other hand, feeling calm, receptive, connected, affluent, abundant, free, and refreshed sparks an imagination of the highest and best possibilities. So, what does that tell us? We got to pause. We've got to pause for guidance. We've got to pause for the cause, pause for first cause, pause for ourselves, rest, rejuvenate, meditate, stop, be still, and know that I am God. I, for one, can get caught up in the busyness and producing results and just going and going and going, and then there comes a time when I know that I am so far adrift that I need to pull myself back in and get aligned with spirit. And what a great analogy of it's like going to the chiropractor and getting an adjustment, and then boom, you're back in the game, right? And so That's powerful. So I'm increasing my meditation practice every morning from 10 to 40 minutes, and I'm thrilled about that. And so I'll talk to you soon about the results. You might see me writing about them. There may not be as many Facebook writings in the mornings for a little bit as I realign and refocus and recenter myself with being still, just being still and letting my mind settle so that I will be rested and rejuvenated. Now, there is a deep call for us to step out of victim consciousness because when those emotional states are triggered, and then the imagination that negates our spiritual truth is triggered, then we begin to produce more results that we aren't really happy about, right? So stepping out of victim consciousness, which is why is this happening to me? Oh, this person, that person, and spreading all of this negativity all around, and nobody wants to hear all the negativity. And then the next thing you know, you don't have your friends are like dissolving, and you're wondering where all your friends are, and they are wanting to also be spiritually fed. They may not be able to articulate that, but all of us want to have life affirming thoughts and feel like our relationships are mutually nurturing and fulfilling and inspiring. Of course, we have ups and downs. However, that is the main goal, that they are centered in this truth of spirit, whether the others know it or not. There's something that brings us together, and we can allow that to be fanned, and that blaze of pure love and joy and connection that comes in being relationship with friends and our romantic partners, our spouses and family members. We've got to fan those, right? And so how do we do that? With love, with life affirming thoughts. And again, there may be times when things happen and we are sad. We can share those things, but we are not dwelling in them. We share them, and then we know that we are heard and our feelings are valid. And now, when we're ready, we can move into that next level, which is the level of creating for our highest and greatest good. Now, Ernest Holmes also says the creative power responds to feeling more quickly than to any other mental attitude. So we want to come from a feeling tone of what? Gratitude, joy, love, connection, belief, faith, conviction, knowing that the universe is working for us and never against us. And you can just try that on for size, repeat after me. I am made in the image and likeness of God. I'm imagining Travis saying that. And then all of my needs are met. I know who I am and I trust in the divine. And so it is. So be mindful of a triggered imagination versus a sparked imagination. So a sparked imagination, it feels like, ooh, there's something. Ooh, what's that, right? It's like that divine spark that lights you up. It lights you up inside and you get excited about it. And it's something that feels like, hey, what's this, spirit? Let's explore. So, the third point today is a calm and receptive consciousness sparks your imagination. A calm and receptive consciousness sparks your imagination. So, we've got to be calm, my friends. We've got to take this time for self care, for respite, for connection with the divine. The more easily and frequently we are calm, composed, connected, refreshed, awake, alert, and in the flow, circulating your good and compassionate, the more we will feel in the flow of spirit. And as such, the more we will constructively use our imagination. Imagining something greater and more expansive naturally creates a greater life for us and for the lives that our lives touch. So, again, another powerful reminder for rest and relaxation, a rejuvenation, to take the steps for self-care, get plenty of rest, 7 to 9 hours. Some only need 7. I think 8 is really recommended. And to eat the right foods that nourish and give your body the nutrients that are needed, and have plenty of water throughout the day. And this helps us learn to respond and not react to anything. But again, this requires a pause. To respond rather than react requires us to pause. And we can't pause if we have a constant stream of thinking, a constant stream of words, a constant stream of TV playing or books running through our minds. We've got to pause. Take a minute. Taking a minute allows us to prevent a knee-jerk reaction. So Ernest Holmes also says imagination carries with it feeling and conviction. And he says that this means life and action. I'll say that again. Imagination carries with it feeling and conviction, which means life and action. And so, my friends, in conclusion, we can add or amplify our intention to be mindful and appreciative of our fertile and vivid imagination to our spiritual practices. This may mean that you've got to adjust, attune, and redirect your practices to include more time for imagination and creative expression. And notice how each time you have new thoughts, new ideas, feelings, inklings, and intuitions. In those moments of imagination, notice the feelings and the qualities that arise within you. And then notice any emotions flowing from those feelings. And notice how the emotions change your body. They even change the way that you stand, right? Or whether you're sitting, just notice it all. Notice how your imagination shifts your entire being, spirit, mind, and body. So, the questions that you can ask yourself throughout the week are, number one, does my imagination run away from my highest good or toward my highest good? I'll repeat that. Does my imagination run away from my highest good or toward my highest good? Number two is not really a question, but a request, a practice. And the request is that you commit to making time each day to imagine the best for yourself and all beings everywhere. Number three is to make a date with yourself this week to become quiet, still, calm, and refreshed. And then let your imagination take you on a great adventure. Let's pray. So, turning our attention inward in this moment, we return to that beautiful, expansive space within, which is imagination land. It is the place of pure spirit, and it is in me, as me, and through me, just as it is in, as and through each one of us. I am so grateful for the presence of spirit in my life, for remembering this truth and for being in alignment with it. And I know that as I am in alignment with it, that each individual that is hearing this prayer right now allows themselves to also be in alignment with it. It's happening right now. We are in alignment with spirit. And in that alignment comes the recognition that, oh, something wonderful actually is happening as me right now. It is this thing called life with a capital L, and life has breathed me into existence for such a time as this on this planet at this time to experience a magnificent life, to experience a creative life, a life that we love. And so each one of us are listening to the guidance of spirit, listening to what ideas it's dropping in, not pushing them back. It's like spirit is calling and it's got this great, magnificent idea, but we send it to voicemail because we don't recognize the number. But not anymore, not us, not today, not now. I know that each one of us from this moment forward fully recognizes the divine call and answers it. And it is powerful and it is good. And we are shown the finished kingdom through which we walk. And it is amazing. So thank you, Spirit, for opening up our minds, for sparking the imagination within us that heals, sparking the imagination within us that allows us to create. I know that the cure for cancer exists in the mind of God. And it's dropping into different individuals, into the minds of others, or even could come into mine. It could come into any of our minds. It exists and we're open to it. And in that same way, the divine idea for ending hunger, ending poverty, ending all of the suffering that we see in the world, that divine idea exists. But are we open to it? Maybe not before, but now we are. Oh, and I'm so grateful for each individual contribution who propels the universe forward with their divine inspiration and their creative intelligence for being the channel and the vessel. Don't think that your part is small. Whatever part each one of us plays is mighty and magnificent and necessary and needed. Keep doing your creative God work, and more is always revealed. And so I'm grateful, Spirit. I'm grateful to know that as we go forward from here, we are blessed and divinely guided, and we take the time to rest, each one of us. We take the time to rest and do what nurtures our souls, and be still and know, such that our imaginations are sparked by the divine. And it is so good. And I am so grateful to know that it is so. And in that knowing, I release this prayer into that lovable, magnificent, creative action of the law where I know it is done. Because that's the way it works. It is the law, and it unfolds magnificently for all of us. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Elizabeth. I'm going to bring Robin Hackett in for her final song.
Wow, as always, that was amazing. Thank you, Reverend Elizabeth. I can only think for the last 2 weeks, it feels longer that I've had COVID, and I have been resting. But in the midst of that resting, a kind of a clearing happens when I'm sick. There's a clearing that happens, and then when you come out, it's new. You're rejuvenated. You're renewed, and so I have all kinds of sparks of imagination for what's to come for me next, because I went inward. I rested. I can't even tell you how many hours I slept every day, but there's just great value in what looks like a storm for all of us. And in the midst of that storm, there's something that's being revealed. So, and I also want to share with all of you, I'm being long-winded, that I have a new book that I wrote called The Creative You, since today was about creativity, so it's on Amazon. This is a song about rising from the ashes. Up from the ashes, awake from your sleep. Who'd have believed that you'd rise to see saw you under, and I saw you down. I think you were lost, but now you are found, and it's so amazing to see you again. And there's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. And in between summer and winter, there lies a promise of spring, and teardrops, the raindrops in season, and you're growing, and you're growing, and you're growing. Oh, I saw you stumble, and I saw you fall. Look at you now, you've come through it all, and it's so, so perfect, the laughter and the pain, and there's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. There's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. Yeah, there's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain.
Wow, that was the perfect song. Perfect song.
Yay.
Amazing. Thank you so much again, Robin Hackett. We love you. You're getting a lot of love in the comments, so be sure to check those out later.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Wow. Okay, so flower in the rain. What color was the flower and what kind of flower did you imagine? Beautiful. Friends, it's now time for our gifts, tithes, and offerings. And we invite you to please consider if this service has inspired you in any way, consider making a donation to our center. And we have our offering affirmation, which will be printed on the screen. I invite you to please repeat after me. Oh, there's a giving button here on Facebook that you can use, or you can use PayPal. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world.
It does great work in the world.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Woohoo! All right, just finished my Facebook donation. And so, and won't you know with me, my friends, that you are never alone. That God is where you are right now and always. And all that we ever need do is turn within. And it is here we will find we are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is
Life
in
is
my
in my
mind.
mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life is in my relationships.
Life is in my relationships.
Life is everywhere.
Life is
everywhere.
I think it.
I
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I express it.
I
I
express
express
it.
it.
I accept it.
I
accept
accept it.
Accept it.
just the way that it is,
just the way that it is,
and just the way that it is not.
and just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Woo!
Yay!
Thank you,
All right.
everybody.
All right. So thank you, Reverend Elizabeth, for what a wonderful message. Gina, for your beautiful prayer. Charlie, for your Science of Mind reading. And the amazing Robin Hackett. Thank you so much for your inspired music. I will invite you to join us for Coffee and Conversation on the Zoom. I put the Zoom meeting link in the chat. So I'll just have Robin play a couple of bars of one of your favorite songs that you played to send us out.
Thank you. Be still and know